Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Emily, and on this channel we talk about disability advocacy as well as mental illnesses like depression and anxiety, as well as my experiences with being legally blind. In today's video, I want to talk to y'all about love and disability. There was a point in my life where I thought that I would never get married. I didn't think that a man would ever want to be with me. I was just in such a dark place, but I think it's important to talk about because I know there may be other people out there who are feeling that way now, and I'm here to be encouraging and let you know not to give up on yourself. And it may be a journey to find that self-love, and self-love is kind of a tricky subject because to me, like, there's a fine line between being like self-centered and loving yourself enough to take care of yourself, because that can be a struggle if you have struggles maybe such as depression or something of the sort where you're just constantly beat up on yourself, you know what I mean, and you're in this rut. So I just wanted to share my journey. As y'all know, I am married. It will be 4 years this year, and we are still very happy. But I kind of went through a journey, so I wanted to share that with you all. Oh, before I begin, I'm so excited because I figured out how to make a thumbnail, like an actual good thumbnail, and not where like in the YouTube chooses, I guess, frames in a video and you're like, ew. Like, it's just the most unflattering photos ever within that video. Well, I YouTubed how to make a custom thumbnail, so and it worked. So in my last video, I made my first one. I redid the introduction because I want to delete the first introduction. Anyways, the other thing is I'm so excited because I ordered a tripod with a ring light for my phone because I film on my phone. And I'm so excited about it because right now, like, if y'all could see what you're balancing on, it is crazy. Like, I have my daughter's clothes basket and it has a lid. And then I have stuffed animals stacked on top of that, and y'all are leaning against the stuffed animals. It's crazy. You do what you gotta do, but I have a little ring light tripod coming in. I think Laura Lee, who is a beauty influencer, she's the one who recommended that, and it's super affordable. It was like 25 bucks. So that's coming in tonight. I'm so excited because that also means I can film like in the evening if I wanted to. Anyways, that's coming soon. So the next video should be better. But at any rate, let's get into today's video talking about love. I wanted to read a piece that I had actually written, and this one went semi-viral on The Mighty, but Thought Catalog also picked it up. So did Love What Matters. So did there's like a newsletter for Texas School for the Blind. Actually, no, they did a different one. Anyways, this one I was proud of, and I wrote this for my now husband, so I wanted to share it. Okay, sorry. I once believed that no man would ever want to spend the rest of his life with me, let alone date me. I've been called so many names based on my disability, and those words are hard to forget. She does not matter. She is blind. You poor thing. Quote, having disability can cause a battle between my self-confidence and truth that I am strong and brave. I have many insecurities and felt that no one would be able to put up with them. Many of these struggles are in my head, and many of them I will have the rest of my life. I fear new places, people, and being judged by others. I am strong, but I am only human, and everyone has their bad days. And then I met you. I knew I wanted to be around you because getting to know you was easy. It was not scary. It was fun. You pursued me every day. You said you wanted to be part of my life when we first met, whether it was romantically or not. I told you that I was not ready to be in a relationship, even though I wanted to. We were falling for each other, but it was hard for me to believe someone as caring, funny, and handsome as you wanted to be with me. I told you I was legally blind and that I was going through counseling at the time, but you said it did not matter, that it made me stronger. We met only a couple of years ago in college, so the dating phase was fun. By the way, I wrote this 4 years ago. Anyways, I met you only a couple of years ago in college, so the dating phase was fun. I could tell you anything at all, from my childhood or from a few months ago, and it was all new to you. It was fun getting to know someone who came from such a different background and find someone with the same values. It was easy to fall for you. You listened to what I said and remembered it all. You still do. This is important, because the little things you remembered meant you actually cared. You were the one I dreamed about, but never thought I would find. You made me feel special, and still do every day. After a few weeks, I told you I wanted to be official because I could not ignore the fact that I already fell for you, and you caught me. You made me feel respected, and I respected myself around you. There was no question about being together. It was the way you respected me, loved me, and made me laugh that caused me to finally be happy about who I was. I got so caught up in my own insecurities, but you brought me back to reality. When you got down on one knee a year later, I could not wait to be Mr. and Mrs. Thank you for choosing me, and for the many things that you do. You make me feel like when I call my silly girl emotions as legitimate feelings. When you look in my eyes, I'm able to hold your gaze. You make me feel safe when I feel anxious. Thank you for being the love of my life. Thank you for reading menus to me when I cannot. Thank you for driving me around because I cannot. Thank you for teaching me sports when I do not know what is going on. Thank you for dancing in my apartment with me, even though you never dance without music. Thank you for being the man I will soon call my husband. I promise to see the best in myself and always in you. I promise to always be there for you, like you are for me. Aww. Okay, that's cute. I still get so like, I don't know. I love this one. So that's kind of a snapshot of our journey together. Now let me preface, in my other videos I talked about how when I was in college I went through like a major depression, because in high school, like, while I always knew I had this disability, it's like as you get older you become more aware of it, as you like your consciousness, like, I don't know what it is that causes that, but I feel like you just become more aware of it as you like become more independent and like you have to do things for yourself, you know? So my freshman year, I was in a relationship with a guy who, we're on good terms now, so let me just say that, like, we're good. We are actually still able to talk, and we do sometimes, but we were very toxic for each other. He was going through some things, I was going through some things, and we were just toxic. Like, it was bad. So I was very unhappy. We broke up, and you know how I said like I was going through such a depression? Well, that's because I was like trying to accept this part of myself. Like, I couldn't deny it anymore, but I felt so alone. Even though I had him, we were like toxic, you know? And it was just such, you know, a difficult time. I broke up with him my freshman year, and I was in such a low place emotionally, and I was so tired of just crying all the time, like hardly being able to get out of my bed. After the first semester, I told myself the second semester I would not let that happen. So I had met these friends who lived upstairs, because there were different like gender floors. So upstairs, like, we're on the girls' floor, and then upstairs was like a guy's floor, and you could go to either floor, like it didn't matter. But so, and they would like always leave the door open, this group of 2 guys, but they had like this 2 other friends down the hall, and so they would always like hang out to those rooms. Anyways, so it was kind of an open door policy at their place, and I would just, instead of like, my room was just such a negative space for me, because I guess all the memories or whatever was attached to it, it was just like negative. So I told myself I would not sit there alone and just cry all the time. I would get out of that room, and I did. So I would go up to their room, but I was in such a negative space. I was just felt so like poorly of myself. I had 0 self-confidence, 0 self-respect, that I was in the room all the time. But I started to let guys around me use me. Like, I would always do their laundry, wouldn't get anything in return. I was essentially the mom. I would always babysit them when they would drink too much, follow them around. Like, I was basically used. And I started to let guys take advantage of me as well. Like, I was like, you know what? I thought so little of myself. I was like, well, at least I have like my body, you know? It was not good. I do not recommend this. I regret freshman year very much. I learned a lot, but like, I made so many mistakes, it's not even funny. So I would let guys take advantage of me. I went a little crazy, not in a good way, to where I was sort of sexually assaulted, and I don't want to go into details about that. That's just something I don't want to talk about, but it was not good. So freshman year was over finally, the second semester, and okay, so something had happened. I went to my friend's apartment. This was the summer after freshman year or the next semester. My memory is kind of foggy because mom brain, I don't know. It's a real thing though, because I am like a grammar Nazi and now I can't spell worth anything right now. So my mind is a little foggy as to a timeline, but I know all these things happened. Like, I've written so many things about it because, again, writing is how I process things. So I was at their apartment, and it was some of the group of the guys that lived upstairs from me from the dorm. I wasn't in a apartment off campus since there were they, but I could walk from my apartment to their apartment. So I was broken up with my boyfriend at the time. My other boyfriend, my first boyfriend, sorry. I was broken up with him at the time. I was talking to my now husband. His name is Daniel. I'm comfortable saying his name, I guess. And I knew, like, when I met him that I wanted to, like, keep talking to him. I just liked being around him. And he was, like, my cowboy. Like, I just had a thing for cowboys. And anyways, that was him. Small town country boy, you know, country music, all that stuff. So I went to a group of the guy's apartment. And I wanted to go home. It was nighttime, so I didn't want to walk home. It was like half a mile, which I'm fine walking in the day. It was a good walk. But it was dark, and I think I had like one drink, just one, which I was underage at the time. And so I was like, you know, I don't want to call, like, I don't want to get law enforcement involved, like, because some campus police, like, will give you a ride home and stuff. But even though we were off campus, it was close enough to campus that they were always, like, driving around. But I was like, I don't want to get in trouble. So I asked one of the guys from the apartment to take me home, and I don't recommend this, but they weren't, like, tipsy or drunk or anything like that. But regardless, I asked him for a ride home, and he straight up said, I will not give you a ride home unless you sleep with my roommate. That was awful, like, horrible. And I think like a month prior to that, I would have just done it because, remember, I had zero self-respect. But the thing is, when I was around Daniel, like when I first met him, I felt so respected. So I said, no, I'm not doing that. And I guess you're not giving me a ride home then. So I start walking home in the dark. It was nighttime. It was a half a mile. It was close to campus. Not safe. I don't recommend it. But I'm just telling you what happened. Okay, it's a whole story. So I called Daniel at the time, and I told him what happened, and he was mad. He wasn't yelling or anything, but I just knew he was like kind of protective a little bit at the time. And he was just like, I could tell when I told him, and I was like, you know, and it was hard for me to say because I'm like, did that really just happen? But it did. And so I was telling Daniel, and I was like, I'm walking home. I'm not going to call the cops. They're not giving me a ride home. I'm not sleeping with them. I just felt pressured, and I'm worth more than that. And so, but it's because, like, when I was around Daniel, I felt respected, and I was like, I'm worth more than that because I was going through so much, excuse me, and I was also in counseling at the time, which helped me to, like, talking through things helps me. Therapy works well for me. So I started to slowly understand, like have more self-respect. Not only that, but I will talk about God on my channel, but this isn't like a Bible study channel, so keep that in mind. But I will say, like, I just started to feel more like, okay, you know what, I'm a child of God. I'm this way for a reason. I'm meant to be this way. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. God made me this way. Like, this is me. It's a part of me. And I should just be proud of myself, you know, and see me, who I am as God's child, and that I can be there for other people. Because that's the thing. Like, I felt like such a burden, right, to anyone. So I had like no self-respect. So anyways, I called Daniel. I talked to him on the way home. I made it home safely. And I was just like, you know what? I don't need to be around those toxic people. So that's when I stopped. And then I went home for like the rest of the summer or something. And Daniel had, he had to go, like, he went to a different state where his mom lives over the summer so he could work and make good money there. And then he went back to our college town for like an interview, or I don't know, for something. And he wanted to take me out to a birthday dinner because I was like gonna spend my birthday alone. Like, I had family, but I like remember I had just gotten out of the relationship not long before, and he was like, or Daniel asked if he could take me out to a birthday dinner, but he would be driving an hour out of his way to come take me to a birthday dinner and go back an hour back to school. And he ended up getting a hotel in that area because our first date was like we just liked it so much. He was like, you know what, can I take you out again tomorrow night? So he got a hotel so he could spend time with me the next night. Did not ask me to stay with him in the hotel. Like, he was not trying anything. And obviously he was falling for me, but I just felt so respected. And the thing is, I never thought I would find that. And I told him straight up, you know, what was going on. I told him I was legally blind, all this stuff. And he actually has a brother who, I should have looked up the diagnosis. My mother-in-law is going to be watching this and be like, really? She's going to text me like, this is what it is. But he has this like eye condition where he is very visually impaired. I don't know if he is on the cusp of being legally blind or not, but like his vision is going to get progressively worse to where he will. And so he was kind of aware of it. And his mom, like Dana's mom, was is a special education teacher as well. So he's like he's always been respectful and understanding anyways. And I just, like, I literally fell in love with him that weekend. And I was like on this journey of self-acceptance and self-respect and love. And then finally, just like being around him encouraged me. And I know there's that idea that like, don't fall for someone else until, like, you can't love someone else unless you love yourself. And I think there's a balance because like, I was still on that journey and I wasn't 100% like loving myself, but he also helped me to see the better parts of myself. You know what I mean? So I think that you will find a person out there. Oh my gosh, there's this other thing. So I hate the word fat and ugly. I just do. Like I hate those words. I think they're so disrespectful. And my huge thing is respect. Like, respect yourself, respect others. Just because you don't think someone is attractive, and this is a tangent, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying, like, even if you think those things about yourself, don't, because here's why. My opinion, God made you who you are. God made you beautiful. And respect your body. Respect yourself, your mind, this God-given life, right? And if you're not a Christian or religious, like, fine, but respect yourself enough to know that there's someone out there who will love you. I truly, truly believe that. Even if you don't think someone is attractive, someone else may think they're attractive. Be respectful of them. You know, that's just my opinion. That was a bit of a tangent, but I hope that makes sense. Like, I hate the word ugly, genuinely hate it. I think it's so disrespectful. Someone just may not, like, you may not be attracted to someone, that's fine. I think there is someone out there for everyone. I truly do. And, you know, I made it. I made it through a really low time in my life. Oh, and I will say, the guy from that story who, like, told me I had to do something for him to take me home, he actually did apologize to me, like, a year later. I had gotten back together with him because I hadn't seen him in so long. And he apologized. He knew that was really bad. And we don't hang out now, but I felt better after the apology, and I'm glad that he saw that was horrible. And, you know, my husband and I have been married for 4 years now. And I've slowly gotten better about talking to him about, like, when I'm having a hard day or I'm really insecure, really anxious. Like, because my big thing is I shut down when I'm struggling emotionally. And that's not good. It's not healthy. And, you know, I continue to go to counseling now. There was a period where I didn't go, like, after I graduated, because I was going to the student counseling center at college. And then I graduated, had a baby, and after I had my baby, you know, I went back into this, like, depression, because I think that's something, like, I'll always struggle with, but some days will be worse than others, and some periods will be worse than others. So anyways, like, that's my journey, and I truly, you know, I'm very happy, and I just kind of wanted to share my story and say, don't give up, you know, don't give up on yourself. Love yourself enough to respect yourself. Know that, you know, you shouldn't let anyone ever use you. And there will be someone out there for you. And I think the thing is, like, you shouldn't be out there looking. Like, at the time, I wasn't looking, of course. I was like, nope, I'm not ready. And then it just happened. And I think that's what everyone says, like, you should do. Because if you're actively looking, like, it can sometimes be really discouraging. I feel like a lot of times, and this is true for anything in life, like, if I need to find white pairs of shoes, I can never find white shoes. But if I'm out looking for, like, a black pair of shoes, I find white shoes. What is that, Murphy's Law? Murphy's Law? Something like that. Anyways, I think it's so true. So don't give up on yourself. Keep fighting for yourself so that, you know, you can find love, and I really think everyone can. I think it's easy to fall into these insecurities and say no one will ever love me or whatever, but I think it'll happen. I really do. Sometimes it just takes time, and that's okay. Everyone has something going on, right? So just because I'm like legally blind and I have depression and anxiety doesn't mean I can't fall in love with someone if they don't have that. Everyone has a struggle, right? My husband isn't perfect. I'm not perfect. My mom, my dad aren't perfect, but they're together in a loving relationship. And, you know, every single person has a struggle, and it's just fighting for each other, continuing to choose to love each other every day. And yeah, anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment below. Please like the video. Leave any questions or comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.